Unsigned518. I am here with SuperKart. How's it going?
Good. How are you, man? Thanks for having us.
Yeah, you're very welcome. And I guess what we're going to do to start things off, obviously no one can see, but we'll start to my left and just introduce yourselves and what you do in the band.
I'm Eli. I play guitar and I sing.
I'm Jared. I'm the bass guitarist.
My name's Nate, and I play the saxophone.
I'm Chip Thomas. I play the drums.
And I think what we want to do, and we talked a little bit before we got rolling, is kind of go back and tell the story of SuperKart. I don't know who wants to take the lead, but you can be as vague or as detailed as you want, I guess.
Me and Jared work at the local college in our area, and we were on the same crew for grounds for the summer, and he brought his guitar in a couple times. I brought mine in after, and we started jamming. Me and my dad have played together forever, so it was kind of like a low point where we were looking to get something started again, and came by the church, the practice space, and just started getting down some Nirvana covers, and it was weird. Like, he had never played bass.
Yeah. I never played bass. I never really played with a band. I was always at home just playing. I'm a self-taught guitarist.
With it, like on an acoustic?
Like originally electric.
Oh, all right.
I stem from like metal music, like All the Remains and heavier stuff, but when I started playing guitar, it was self-taught. I never really just YouTube all day, and then when I started playing with him, and they brought me to the church. And I was like, oh, sweet. It's got a sweet little spot. And
we had all never really, because I had never played guitar and sing together. I had played bass in a band a couple years prior to starting this with my dad, where I played bass and he played bass. We switched on and off. And it was his first time playing drums, self-taught.
And you're pointing over here. So your father and son in the band.
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't know if we were going
took
to
me a
say that
second.
or not.
It took me
He
a
kept
second.
saying his father, and I'm like, he's pointing outside. No, they were playing, and I was playing bass, so like they needed a drummer, so I got a drum kit, and we started playing. Kind of took off from there. We did the covers just to fill in the spot because we wanted to write. That was kind of like the thing in the beginning, was to write music and play together. So it took a while to get the mechanics of it, but once I got it down, it's been going pretty fast. Now we write all the time.
yeah.
And I think that's what's great about starting a band and playing together, is that being able to play covers, like being able to be like, hey, this is like some shit that we all kind of agree on. Yep. And like, that's such a way to not only like cut your teeth on building your own like strength on an instrument, but building a unit. Yep. You know what I mean? Just learn some covers real quick and then move on to writing your own shit.
It definitely helped me get used to playing with other people, because I was always just playing by myself.
Right,
so it gave me the timing, and it helped me a lot.
Yeah, and that's tough too, like playing by yourself, because without that like feedback, that immediate feedback, you don't know.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Are you practicing the right thing? Or,
no, definitely not. I was I was a noodler. I just kind of noodled around, and I figured out what sounded good, and then I like kind of rolled with it, and I still find myself.
That was about
judging myself more than I
2 years ago now that the three of us got started, and then Nate, through mutual friends, came in, and he said he had a saxophone, and I was like, nice, bring that.
Yeah.
Like, you can't say no to the saxophone.
Right.
We were at least going to try it out. So that was like 5 months ago now?
Yeah, that was back, I think it was like February I started playing, and my now ex-wife, she knew Eli from, whatever, gym time, and he was, I just thought I was just going to go play and hang out, and then here we are all this time later.
I think it was a Thursday, and then we had a show that Saturday.
Yeah, I think I came Thursday,
like 3 days
Friday.
before we played a show.
Yeah, we were like, dude, what are you doing on Saturday?
They're like, do you mind coming to the show? I was like, did they know I already wanted to do that? Yeah, no, I was like, it just kind of has worked out so well, and Crystal Ball, that's now on Spotify, is like the first song we really played together, and Chris wrote that, like 8 years ago or something?
Yeah, it was a while ago, about 8 years.
And he wrote that about his lovely girlfriend, Julie. Shout out to Julie.
Shout out to our social media organizer, event.
Our unofficial band manager.
Yeah, I was going to say,
she's
the one that reached out to me.
She's the magic behind
Yeah,
the scenes,
she really runs pretty much everything. She's, definitely shout out to her.
But yeah, Crystal Ball was like the first song we wrote, and that's really come along. Now it's on Spotify, and some of the new stuff we're coming out with, like Antennas and Talking to You, which is all going to be on the album, is really going in a new direction. It's very exciting for me. I know that.
I enjoy it. Yeah, the saxophone was definitely a good.
I just see like there's so many like similarities. I think like with you guys and my band, just to like not to put it on me but like because we same thing. Like we just like started like then playing some covers and we're like let's write some song, and then you added a saxophone player, we added a trumpet player.
Nice.
We added a trumpet player like just mere days before they were coming into the gig.
That's
and,
great.
It's like a lot of like cool similarities.
Are you using the trumpet player? Do you use it for, because with the sax, I think he's like adding almost like a second guitar feel, which it kind of makes it so we're not just pinned down to doing like Peter Gunn and some other
similar,
which we do that one. You kind of have to.
You have to.
Yeah.
But so are you using the trumpet the same way, or
she basically, because Abby's been playing the trumpet like her whole life and is like a a classically trained trumpet player, and so basically we just she just writes her own part, and I mean it does kind of end up working as like another melodic part of it, like I guess in a different frequency than the guitars.
That's definitely the part I like, is that none of these guys really tell me what to do. They just kind of, if I'm doing something they don't like, they'll mention it, but other than that, it's been free reign. And like a lot of the times I'm doing something, but then ultimately I'm matching Eli's pitch, trying to add, like you said, another guitar kind of.
It mixes really well with the vocals as
and
well.
And my voice too. He hits right where I am, and it boosts really both of them, and it just adds a whole nother depth. I think any brass can do that to a band,
certainly,
and like the right feel.
And the adding like to the like filling in of the space, you know what I mean? Like 'cause we played a gig of Abby, our trumpet player, couldn't be there, and we like we're like, all right, we'll play the gig, and like every fucking song we're like something,
something's missing.
There's just something missing.
Thing.
It's just like a little too thin.
Yeah, we can hear it when we're playing it.
Yeah,
in practices when he's not there, because we practice 4 days a week. Monday,
really?
Tuesday,
wow.
and
There's
Thursday,
some hard
Friday.
workers.
And he gets there on Mondays and Tuesdays, but he can't make the Thursday, Friday ones. But
and you were saying that you kept mentioning the church earlier in the episode, so you actually practice in a church basement.
Do.
You said
it's a church where Chip has full access to the grounds and stuff. He's the caretaker, so we're fortunate enough to have a room down there in the basement and be able to set it up and be as loud as we want after 8 o'clock,
8 o'clock
pretty much every day.
Yeah, we were going to be known as the band that plays at the church, because that's whenever we say something locally, like, "Oh, you guys are playing in the church." Everybody's heard it walking by.
Yeah, because we opened we open the window.
So, like, is that rock music coming out of the church?
It's pretty funny.
We were playing, I think it was "Rape Me" from Nirvana, and that one seemed a little off.
You like see like the instruments or the amp starting to smoke or something, you know what I mean? It's like, all right, we'll stop.
Speaking of that,
a funny little side story. We have a monitor that got the speaker blue, and he hollowed it out, took the speaker out, and put a smoke machine inside of it. And we're sitting there at practice
I had
one
no
night,
idea, and he friggin' set it up.
He starts hitting the button, and it's smoking. We're all thinking that it's going to blow up. Yeah.
All right, and not to put another parallel, but this is actually verifiable because it's on an earlier episode of this podcast that I've told the story. I've probably told the story 3 or 4 times. Our guitarist, one of his first practice, I hit a smoke machine behind his amp. And I had the remote control in my pocket, and he was standing here, and I was at the other end of the room, and I didn't tell anybody. And
I freaked out. Like, it came right out of the speaker.
And I triggered
so
it, and
sketchy.
everybody like stopped and looked at him, and then they looked over at me, and I was like fucking buckled over in laughter, and they were like, "Oh my god!" Like,
that's awesome.
Peas in a pod, I tell you.
That's so good.
So 2 years, you say now, like since you started, like bringing it together, and like, and at this point, kind of where are you sitting? Gigging. You said you're working on an album.
Yep, we've been in the studio a couple times. We have a full demo EP, and we're gonna be mastering that soon. We play, I want to say, every 2 months, maybe more frequent.
We usually try to get a show at least a month or two.
and we're pretty much just locally in Oneonta right now. Like we're trying to get more gigs out towards this area or down south, maybe in the city and stuff like that. Yeah, I think that it's definitely taking on a new genre, not a genre, but sound of music since the three of us started.
I don't know. I still can't figure out what genre it is. To be
I mean,
honest,
I was just thinking, because even like from one song to the next, like I said, I was listening.
It's kind of all over. Yeah,
like the first one was, like, I don't know, not punky, I guess would be the, punk is such a hard. We're called
it's
the punk
almost
band.
like
sometimes
punky
I'm
grunge almost. Yeah,
yeah, and then it's like jazzy and fucking flowing.
We're calling
and,
it for right now.
know.
We've kind of coined this a 1950s grunge.
That was courtesy of Chip Thomas.
It's like a 50s. It's like a late 50s grunge.
Like a 57, 58 grunge or something. All right,
Grunge before it was grunge.
right.
It's got that Southern California surfer vibe.
Right.
Some
Queens
them.
of Stone
What
Age
you got to
and-
do, I feel like I'm surfing through the whole song. I think this is the first song.
That
off
was
the
funny.
album.
Yeah.
And did you play, like, because you were saying, like, you kind of picked up drums, or what, did you play drums before, or was
No.
that literally you were like,
Literally
I'm going to...
bought the drum kit, and I'd never. It was just kind of fingers crossed. I'm
was
a
very-
musician.
Yeah,
Sure.
I have, we actually
We played bass forever.
Played bass in another band, Liquid Me, for probably 17 years. So, and I also some other musical experience.
So you've
Through the church,
fucked
that's
around
why.
with some drums
Yeah,
every once in a while,
yeah,
like, but
no,
never.
not really.
Really?
No,
It was
it's pretty amazing how
literally-
far he's come.
I was so intimidated that, like, I was like, all right. And it took probably a good 6 months before we stopped sucking. Like, we sucked
Before we stopped
hard.
sucking.
Powered
Like, at
through.
the beginning, it was rough. Like, I mean, it was better than, like, I'm probably being really hard about it, but, it took probably the full year before I was like, okay, this is going to be something.
We didn't even play out until close to a full year.
Yeah,
It was
we were
almost a full year before we
Like,
Just
we
because we
had,
just didn't have it polished enough. I mean, we could do some Nirvana stuff. But when we started doing our own stuff, really started like roller coastering at that point.
But I love the tenacity with that to, like, because I always say to people, like, you cannot be a seasoned pro unless you start off as a foolish amateur.
Yeah,
Like,
oh, yeah,
nobody
of course.
nobody just jumps and is all of a sudden
Nope.
amazing. But so many people give up in that, like,
Yeah, you got to be willing
the
to
real
embarrass
crucial
yourself to
stage.
be
You
able to
have-
get
yeah.
through to do something good.
because
Yeah,
like that's how you do it. You fumble through shit, and then it makes a little more sense, and
Chip is still struggling with the imposter syndrome. He still doesn't believe he is a drummer in real life.
well, I mean, listening to the recording, I wouldn't have been like, there's something up with that drummer there, Like,
Well,
it
it's
sounds
there's
like-
something up with that drum out there.
hey now.
I was so busy.
I was just doing the 1950s.
Yeah, you see, there's something up with that drum out there.
Yeah, go drink me a soda, babe.
That's 57's grunge.
That was actually more like a 30s, like.
Yeah, probably. It was retro at that point.
That's funny.
But it was hard not to say anything as far as even playing the guitar, because I play guitar and bass a lot. So, but I don't even think I gave any pointers for them because they were both starting off as well. So
Yeah,
three
it
of
was-
us brand new. And I was so busy on the drums, I couldn't, I can't even, I've tried playing some of the bass parts. I have
They're
no
weird.
idea.
they are
No,
very.
yeah.
As coming from like a heavy guitarist, my bass parts come definitely a little different than most. I feel, but they're kind of fun. I enjoy them. They've seemed
I
to
think
mix
it's
pretty
a
well.
very when we started with Nirvana, Chris Novoselic has a very unique way of playing.
Sure.
Where Kurt is doing rhythm, very basic, melodic back and forth, and it gives the bass player an opportunity to fill that. And he really stepped up to the plate as far as doing that.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Novoselic does a lot of like down and up picks.
Oh
that
yeah,
are really
yep,
tight.
yeah.
and
I also use a pick when
So
I
do
play.
I, yeah.
So
I'm trying to be able to play with my fingers, but like
I used to
I'm-
hybrid pick a lot
can't,
with
man.
guitar, and that I'm trying to branch over onto bass a little more.
Gotcha.
Just for certain songs, like the one we've been working on, Smashing Pickups. I started doing hybrid picking for that song, and it adds a lot more fuller sound to it, and I like it a
Yeah,
lot.
I just had like so many years of playing acoustic guitar and some bass, and then I switched over to just bass like 4 years ago or whatever. And I still I love like Novoselic's stuff.
The
Some
sound of a
the
pick
Nirvana
on a
songs that
bass.
we used to cover
Yeah.
were the most fun songs
Yeah.
to play because I'm like, yeah, look at me, I get to riff it up,
Lithium is still one of my favorites.
Yeah,
Oh,
for
yeah.
sure.
Yeah, it's great tunes. And fun tuning too, because isn't that the one that's in the drop
it's
D?
full
with
down,
the-
I think.
It
It's a
is.
full
Is
step
it full down?
That
We do it that way.
we
Nice.
do.
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah.
Yeah, fun tunings. Are
Yeah,
great.
that's good. I enjoyed. That's another thing I never really explored much was other tunings when I was learning just jamming on my own. As I never really messed with tunings. I don't understand the theory behind music that well.
Same.
Which I don't. I'd like to. I'm
It's a
starting to
feeling
build
thing,
it
too.
more as I go. I'm starting to hear notes better and starting to be able to transfer and be able to do that kind of stuff a lot easier. But it's still a work in progress for sure.
Sweet. Well, I think we should probably hear a SuperKart song.
All right,
so,
sure.
what are we thinking for the first one?
We could do that.
Yeah.
I love
How many of the
Antennas.
songs did we send you?
I just listened to what was on Spotify.
Okay,
Oh,
cool.
man.
So Antennas is on. Is on
And
Spotify.
also for the record, and another fucking, and I didn't even think of the similarity until just now, is the band name is SuperKart there's no space in between
Yep.
super and cart, and the K is capitalized.
Yeah.
My band, Shortwave Radio Band, is shortwave, one word with the W capitalized, radio band, one word with the B capitalized.
That's so funny, man.
And a lot of our songs have that same
type of
fucking like mid-word capitalization. Like we have a
Okay.
song
Oh, nice.
called
Hell yeah.
Someday, and it's some capital D but no space.
Nice.
So
That's funny.
That is
fucking
funny.
wild, man. All right, back to you. So we're gonna listen to Antennas.
Antennas.
All right, sick. We'll listen to Antennas, SuperKart, and then we'll be right back. Antennas, SuperKart, and that one we were saying while we were listening to the song is going to be on the album that you're working on. So I guess tell us a little bit about how that's going.
Yeah, that's correct. A couple months ago, we got in the studio and finished up the demo for the album. That's a newer song after the saxophone was introduced. We just were jamming one night, and it came about, and the other song that's also a single, Crystal Ball, is capoed. So it was kind of already there, and we kind of just went into it, you know.
I think those are both capoed.
Yep.
Doobie Studios too. I just wanted to say
Shout
that's
out.
where we're doing the album. DMS
Arthur is
Studios.
a good dude.
Arthur up in Clarksville. So, and that was the second time going up there. We
Yep.
did 5 songs.
5 songs the first
Both
time and
times.
5 songs the
Yeah.
second time.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So it was the first one. We just kind of breezed right through it, and then
Yeah, our first time ever being in a studio too, so
Yeah.
that was kind of
yeah, and then
cool.
Nate came up with us the second time, and that was interesting too because we played, and then he recorded after, so that
Yeah.
was kind of the way he chose to do it was unique. It sounds awesome though.
Just one
And I
take
guess it
Nate
gives
over
us a lot
here.
more flexibility as when we're mixing because everything is. I think there had been just too much bleed through with everything because we were in one room when
Yep.
we did it, so it was kind of cool. It was like a practice.
Yeah, it was strange going up there the first time because I've sang and played the songs all together in one room, and then we had to just do it instrumental. And I did it after and playing because I time everything up sometimes in the song with the lyrics. So that was a big step coming out of that and getting used to that, and then going back in. We knew that that's how it was going to be, but it was like Chip said, it's interesting how he decided to record the saxophone because it really gives us a lot of leeway.
Yeah, he can really boost the saxophone on songs when he really needs to and stuff like that. I liked it a lot. The Antennas and stuff and Crystal Ball is both 2 songs that the saxophone really shines for sure.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun recording that, and it was interesting because I was expecting to go up there and all sit in the same room and play, and then they're like, by the way, you're gonna do it afterwards. So it was kind of fun, It was
we weren't ready for that.
It was like playing with an iPod track. You were just ready to go. You knew it was gonna be there, and
He did it one take every time. I think
Yeah.
maybe for other than one song, everyone was one take.
And the first take, the one he did mess up, it was like within 5 seconds. He's like, let's do it again.
yeah,
We're all in there
Yeah.
in the sound booth, and we had never heard Nate's part.
yeah. You can't really hear me in practice, and I think that was the
We
first time they
practiced
really heard what was going on.
That's
Yeah.
it. It's like
Well, no,
it is hard
do you
for him to
mic-
hear.
do you
We do
mic
have
it
a
in
mic up
practice?
to see it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But,
yeah,
you
we,
know, just
we do
in
that
that
here
room,
as
it's-
well.
It gets swallowed up. Yeah.
It does sometimes get swallowed. Like I hear bits and pieces of it here and there, and I was like, "Ooh, that sounds kind of good." And then like when we brought it to the studio, I was like, "Whoa, that's what he's been doing." Holy crap!
Yeah, it is funny, like not
It's
being
fun.
able to hear sometimes, like to be, because we practice in a garage. And then, like, when you get somewhere, there's a fucking professional sound guy. And you've got your own monitor and your own mix. It's like, holy shit. There's been so many times where I'm like, guys, we're actually pretty good.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Because I could hear everything.
It's the same thing when I play the bass parts. A lot of times we're like, "Oh, he's like, that's what you're doing." Eli's like, "I didn't know that's what you were
Yeah.
playing."
It melds so nicely though, you know what I mean? And you don't even realize sometimes just because you like that song Antennas, it's the meaning behind that is we wrote it and our antennas were activated that night. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We're all in a syncing, just
Definitely.
it definitely came about like magic kind of.
I
A
know
lot
that
of our
like
songs have recently.
yeah, all of the songs. I know me personally in my own songwriting, and then with this group here, every time we've written like the best ones, it just comes out real quick. And Eli's got the usually the lyrics written halfway
Yeah.
by the end of practice.
With
then
it,
the
yeah,
next
he
day it's
scats
ready
most
to
of
go,
his lyrics before we even get out of
Yeah.
practice, and I'm
Scat
like,
out the melody.
dude, I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does that so well. I
just
don't know how.
fill
he, yeah.
spaces where I know later I can put something in, you
Yeah.
know. So that I think me transitioning into that has it hasn't held back songs somewhat
Definitely.
because I don't know where to sing or where I can put in a chorus and stuff, and I think that with this rhythm section, gives me the ability to do a lot of cool stuff.
And having, you said you did like 5 songs, one session, 5 songs. So, like, you have more than 10
for
original
sure.
songs at this point?
Oh,
Like,
yeah,
how
for
fucking
sure.
fast?
Oh,
are
We
you
got like
writing
15.
songs?
We have a whole nother album ready to go,
Jesus
pretty much.
There's a
I
whole
think we're at
chalkboard full of
23
original
original
songs.
I was gonna
songs.
say it
Wow.
only takes. There's times we write a song in a day, like Pretty Mouth
yeah.
was a
And
1
then,
or
like,
2 day.
when you
one
write
or
a
2
song
day
like
thing.
that, like write like a song like on the spot or like pretty quickly, how do you keep it going? You know, how do you do you capture it?
They
on
record it.
audio?
Oh yeah,
or
we
just
record.
listen
Yeah,
to
we
it
have a
over
little,
and work on
little
it?
Very
speaker,
smart.
little microphone that we have. That when we find something that we like, we record it instantly. If we have it all on a drive, so the whole band can go home.
So there's a
listen to
large
it,
collection
work
of
on it.
bootleg SuperKart recordings.
So it's pretty good little system we got going, and it doesn't take us long to formulate something that we like.
My favorite thing too is I'll leave on a Tuesday evening,
Yep.
9-10 o'clock. I come back the next Monday. They're like,
We got 2 more
this
songs.
is this is Bob Ross and this is Fart Wizard. I'm like, okay, great. And then we go through like 5 new songs. And I'm like, well, guys, somebody at least tell me what we're playing and the key, anything.
Fuck down, please.
I gotta play like at least that segment for our trumpet player because she like all the time is like,
exactly.
what the fuck? We went in to record our last single and like it was like, hey, maybe we could do it like this, and she was like,
Right?
come on. Like,
I need a key and that's it. The rest I got.
Yep. Yeah, and
if they
me,
switch
I'm
it,
like,
well,
people will be like, "Oh, it's in the key of F sharp," and I'm like, "What the fuck does that mean?"
I got you.
Like, I'm like, I don't know.
Those
What are the
like
root
the other
notes?
day-
Just
the other
tell me
day
the
me and,
notes.
Yeah, totally. I'm like,
The other
tell
day,
me
me
the
and
notes.
him were at practice a little early. He had to go pick somebody up, and we were just jamming. And he heard the actual bass line to the song I was playing. He's like, "Oh, that's what you're doing?" And he's like, "I like that." And he's like, "Why don't we use that as the start?" And he shows up. I was like, "Yo, we have drastically changed chassis pickups." It was funny.
New song.
And so at this point, you said you've tracked, like, is it just going to be 10 songs on the record?
Yep.
And then
Yeah.
you move. So do you have, like, what stage are you at? You've got them tracked. Are you working on a release date? Like,
We're hoping
yeah.
next summer, I think,
Okay.
to release it. Maybe a little bit later, spring.
Yeah, we're hoping as early as possible, but
Right,
want it to be right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Takes a lot
it
of
just
work,
needs to be
yeah.
mastered and worked together and EQ'd in a little bit of areas, But honestly, it's a solid demo.
It's-
Like when
yeah,
we
it's
came
really
away the
good.
first time compared to this, I was like, this sounds more mastered than the first time. So,
Yeah, oh yeah, for
Yeah.
so
sure.
we're just waiting on mastered, and then we're gonna put it all on Apple Music, Spotify, and we have some stuff on YouTube. We have one music video out there. I wanted to say,
saw
Pretty
that, yeah.
Mouth.
Yeah.
That was a lot of fun to make too, because it's just on an iPhone.
Yeah,
Like,
that's
we're
all
just
shot
so
and edited.
Chilling
on
in my
phone.
apartment, like getting these weird shots and like cubbies and stuff.
Shout
and
out
it
to
was-
Julie.
I was gonna
again.
say, yeah,
Julie
shout
again.
out
All
to
that.
Julie.
Yeah, she does a really
That
good
was like
job.
the first thing I
and
showed up
Paulina,
for practice.
she was in the
and
video. Got to shout
Yeah,
her
yeah.
out. She was a subject.
I showed up for practice. They're like, "Here's our music video." I was like, "What? That's impressive, guys."
that's awesome.
Yeah, Julie did it all on her iPhone.
I made our last singles video on, you know what Canva is?
No.
Like, it's like a photo editing or
Okay.
like graphic design software, but it's kind of like a graphic design software for dum-dums. Like,
Okay.
and I made an entire
Sounds
video on
nice.
that. And everybody was like, "Man, that's really good." And I'm like, "Cool." I did
Nice.
it in like an afternoon while stoned in my garage. I'm like, wasn't that?
Hey man, sometimes
Yeah,
that's all it
really,
takes. I was
though.
gonna say that's all it takes.
Yeah.
Or
Sometimes.
there's a will, there's a way.
Yeah.
Getting stoned helps a lot.
It does. It does.
Mm-hmm.
As we found out before we started recording. So, do we want to hear another SuperKart song?
I think so. Yeah, we should love it.
Definitely.
And which one are we going to go with this time?
Crystal
I
Ball.
would say Crystal Ball for sure.
We mentioned that one before.
So
Let's go
yeah,
with that.
Crystal Ball is the first song we ever got together and finalized, and
Mhm.
it's a love song. It's a beautiful love song wrote by Chip Thomas for his lovely girlfriend. Again, shout out Julie. And I think it's one that like it just keeps getting better every time. I don't know about these guys. I get goosebumps when I play it.
Oh, yeah.
Every time.
Tears, man.
It's one we really miss the saxophone on the days we play it. When
Oh,
he's
yeah.
not there.
Yeah.
It's like, damn, I can hear every bit of what he's playing
Yeah.
when he's not there. It's
Right on.
crazy.
All right, so let's hear Crystal Ball, SuperKart, and then we'll be right back to wrap it up. All right, so that was Crystal Ball from SuperKart. And guys, I want to thank you so much for taking time out of your day to drive all the way the fuck out here
of
to do
course.
this with me. It was really cool, and I really appreciate the effort. So before we go, though, like I do with all my guests, just want to give you a chance to say what I refer to as your gratitudes.
Couple things. Thank you for having us, Andy. Thank you, everybody who's been there along the way. You know what I mean? We're steamrolling, we're still going, and we're having fun. I want to say, everybody, if you like the songs and you're wanting to hear more, go follow the Insta, TikTok, Facebook, and YouTube. We got music on there, where we're going to be playing. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, just to say, if you do like our stuff, and we are a part of America's Next Top Hit Maker, and we need your votes. So they actually help us advance to the next round and for a chance to win $10,000 and to play in Austin, Texas. So that'd be really cool. I'd like to shout out to Julie again for pretty much running everything for us and being that awesome person, and our fans we call the Pit Crew.
I would also like to use my shout out for Julie. She makes everything possible here, and she's the reason we're here sitting with you, and thanks for having us. And yeah, we would be a lot more not organized if we didn't have Julie.
Yeah, Chip Thomas, I'd like to say thanks to Julie as well, and Andy for having us up here. And thanks to the guys for, keeping it together. For real.
Oh, I got shout out to Eli for bringing me in, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He drove, so.
Yeah. Not here, not just here, not just here. I'm talking about bringing me
Bringing
into
him
the
into
band.
the band.
Bring him
Well,
into
he
the
also
family.
He's
takes
like,
lives.
hey man, you want to play with some people? Like, yeah,
Yes, I do.
yes I do. I have time. Let's do this. And yeah, so
Do it all over
definitely,
again.
definitely very grateful.
Awesome. All right, so they are SuperKart. I am Andy Scullin. This is Unsigned518, and I'll see you on the road. Unsigned518 is produced and hosted by me, Andy Scullin. New episodes are available every week wherever you stream podcasts. If you would like to help support the show, please like and subscribe wherever you are listening, or you could buy me a coffee at buymeacoffee.com/unsigned518. If you would like to advertise on the show, send me an email at unsigned518@gmail.com. And to be a guest on the show, reach out to me through Instagram at unsigned518. Take care of one another, and I'll see you next week.